Yeah. A little different because we're kind of on a Thursday schedule today, but any questions?
Sean, those linebackers especially, how big a role do those guys play in just like
significant? It starts obviously with that front, and they're real instinctive. They run well, they tackle well, and with what they do coverage-wise, they do a good job of matching up on the runners, the tight ends. They're really good football players, and it's one of the challenges about the defense.
Sean, how does Mark Ingram fit in from a personality standpoint? Would it be safe to say he's well liked in the building?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that's accurate. He's got energy. He's positive, and yeah, I definitely would say that's the case.
I'm guessing the fact that he knows a lot of what you've done in the past helps the acclimation period, right?
Yeah. And the other thing is he's been playing football. In other words, it's not like we got to get him up to. He's been practicing daily, playing, and yeah, I think he's pretty smart. So all of that comes back to him pretty quickly.
Actually, I know all these division games are the same, but has this rivalry, I guess, with Tampa, has this sort of picked up a little bit, you think?
It's kind of what I said back to when people used to talk about Atlanta. It's typically the games mean more when they're better teams and teams competing to win the division. I say that. I mean, we've had hard-fought games with Carolina, with Atlanta, with Tampa. When we first started in 06, that was the team you had to beat. They had won a Super Bowl, and so that kind of moves. But I think in the NFL, I think division games always have that. Look, they're important because your first objective is to win the division.
Sean, do you see or want more modifications to the IR rules going forward, or do you think it kind of works best now with the change of the 17-game season?
Yeah, I think currently we've gotten more flexibility, and I think if you polled every team, they would be encouraged by what we're currently doing.
Does it help with the longer season because it's giving players a chance to come back now when they might not?
I think you're adding a game, but I think outside of it, I don't think it has anything to do with the additional game. I think it has everything to do with flexibility, and also it's cost effective. If a player can come back in 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, I mean, the fans want to see a starter and not someone that's on IR getting paid and then someone else. So it makes a lot of sense.
Sean, is Mark's ability in pass protection a strength of
what
he can do?
I think he's good at blocking the pressure. He's physically strong, and he's smart.
Is that one of the harder things? Like, if you were to bring in a guy that hadn't been here, is that one of the harder aspects to pick up?
I would agree.
Sean, is the consistency of both of these run defenses, yours and Tampa Bay's, pretty rare in this league? I mean, it seems like week in, week out for a number of years now, that's just being an element taken away from an opposing offense.
Look, if we did a 20-year study, you would find that there have been, over those 20 years, one or two or three teams maybe that have been real stingy, and the uniqueness is both are in the same division, but I think that's it's an important part of playing defense. It's hard to rush the passer if a team's running the ball well. You're getting to more favorable third downs. There's so many things that begin to happen if you're having success running the football, and there's things that happen if you're not. And so I think that Todd, and having worked with Todd and knowing him well, and Casey, a number of those guys on that staff, they've done a great job of making that a priority.
Sean, I'm not sure if we asked you this after Seattle, but when you take a player like Taysom out of the game plan and just all the different things you can do with him, what's kind of the most difficult part about just kind of pulling him out?
Well, look, I think he's a physical player, and there's a physicality, and obviously not just at quarterback, but whether it's in protection, whether it's in the run game, and then certainly his ability in space. So there's a number of things. You don't want to lose a starter, I kind of see him as a starter.
I'm not asking you when he's going to come back, but is there like a concern for his health at this point? Like, is this normal that he hasn't been able to progress to practicing
No,
at all?
I think. Look, I think if you just track concussions around the league this year, I think it would be fairly normal. It just, you wait for all the symptoms to be resolved.
I think I just like the nature of that hit, and then no one's seen him. Like, a lot of fans were saying, like, I'm concerned about his health at this point, and if he's okay.
Yeah, no, we are in going through all the proper protocol, and it's what what you have to do, and yeah, we're the same way. But I know I know he's progressing. He's feeling better and better. It's just more of a time thing.
Start of the week this week, Sean?
No, and I think I mentioned it to Mickey. I think crowd is going to be important, and I felt like we didn't play very well against the Giants. But I'd also say I didn't think it was anything from a noise factor that we're used to, and so I don't think there are any mandates now, relative to. I think it's important that this is the first time we're playing them with crowd noise. We didn't have it in week 1 last year. We didn't have it in the postseason, and I think that, getting back to what we're accustomed to, I think that's going to be important. So that's the stat.
Sean, I don't know if this is a weird stat, but you never lost a game on Halloween, even going back to your days as an assistant.
How many games are we talking about?
3.
Well, hopefully,
but in 99,
hopefully,
you went to Giants, and y'all beat the Eagles with straight hand. You had the interception return.
Yeah. I remember. Hopefully, we can make it 4.
Is there a candy-related reason for that? Or?
No, I eat enough candy throughout the season before. I certainly make up for it long before we even get to Halloween.
You get in the mood just watching your favorite scary movie or something?
No. I honestly, I say this every year. The hardest thing, I think, especially for coaches and also for players, is not so much Halloween, not even Thanksgiving, but you get into that season where there are these things that require time, and it just happens to be, in season always, and that's challenging. But I've never looked at Halloween as scheduling wise as now, mind you, when you had younger kids though, but when you had younger kids, if it fell on a Wednesday night and your game plan, and you had to, I've missed some Halloweens. So anyway, all right.
Opinion on candy corn?
Not a fan.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Not a
The
fan.
wrong opinion.
Totally not a fan. Totally not a fan. That's a good one to end on.
There you go.